This week I'm breaking the mold of my normal recipe of my inserts, and I will explain more a little later. So, how was your 20th of March stay away? Well, pretty much nothing. And I think it's time somebody told Little Red Riding Hood here that we are actually the big bad wolf, and that Little Red Riding Hood here should be quite afraid of us. But anyway, let's move on to things that are important. Meraai, what's happening over my shoulder? We did not go out last week. I took some of you by surprise. Sorry, I thought I did make it clear we wouldn't be going out. I was in Durban having a barrage of tests to see what's going on in my chest, but we will get to that. There's some very sexy stuff happening right there. Meraai's grill has been removed, so for once I can give you a clear idea of what is going on under the bonnet. This is the winch engaging mechanism that Markiplier and Chris installed a few weeks back. Chris is also busy installing the protection plate that protects the front of our sump. Then our metalwork maestro starts to build Meraai's braces, her railway tracks, aka bull bar. The critical area being where the bull bar is attached to the chassis. This bull bar promises to be something to behold. The design of the bull bar has been clear in my mind from day one, and what we are doing and about to start doing is very close to that idea. We're using this steel, the round tubing, and then that rectangular hollow tubing, which is smaller than the big tubing that we used to make the rear bumper. So it is hollow, but which means it's a little bit lighter, but it's still pretty strong, and it is gonna look ever so sexy. Very sexy. Meanwhile, inside Meraai, the guys are busy working out a way to secure the box that will hold our 32-inch smart TV in place. We believe this is the best place for the TV. We ran the wiring a while back, and now we must make sure that the TV does not deploy while we are driving along. This is Nicky's department, and he is doing a great job. All that remains is to secure the telly inside its new home. Serenaded by a late summer downpour, this proves to be not so simple a task. The mounting bracket I bought will not work in this setup. A new plan needs to be hatched, and the guys get straight to it. Still with the interior, this is what our dash looks like now. I have dropped the dash and its future cladding at my mate Smoo from Upholstery Classics. In the paint shop washing line is holding a few dashboard components. Over my shoulder are the sort of inlays or the little panels that all the discs are going to be mounted on. So you've got the main one here for the speedo and all the gauges. This little one here is for all the switches and the indicator lights and warning lights. And then this one here goes in front of the passenger seat, in front of Mariki's seat, and we're going to have Meraai's name, which is going to be a surprise apparently. Moving over to Spoo's workshop, the guys are busy covering the dash with real leather. This leather is UV treated to protect it from weathering. We are placing a thin layer of a carpet-like material between the dash and the leather to buff it up a bit. The slide padding will also give our dash a more rounded finish. Hopefully in this episode I can still show you the end result. This dash is really going to be something awesome. Spoo and Aubrey are pretty good at their craft. This is what they did with the fabric Mariki chose for the cushions for our dinette/spare bed. So there is no doubt regarding their skills. Before we get back to Meraai's braces, this is Johan Taljard. He's the winner of the pangolin hamper, and I asked him to send us a little pic of him posing with all the goodies he won. Our other long-running competition is our t-shirt competition. Paddy and Barent are still in the running. My money right now is firmly on Barent walking away with this rare limited edition piece of Meraai memorabilia. At Meraai, Markiplier and Chris has been a busy little bee. The main structure of Meraai's braces is done and dusted. Bram and Chris now plan the rest of the design. That design involves wing-like structures that protect the lights. The decisions are made and construction begins. Soon the first wing is in place and work on the next one begins. Slowly the overall look is beginning to take shape. The workmanship on the bull bar is solid. A small but critical detail that we have thought about and added is this, and that is our high lift jack point. And it is very solid, very secure, so that if we need to lift her, we can lift her. The rear ones are fitted to the rear bumper. As with the dashboard, I cannot wait to show you all the final product. Okay, let's get to a challenge that has come calling on me without being invited. Last week I checked into a hospital in Durban for some tests on my heart. I was dressed in the latest sexy underwear. Then a nice lady placed all these sticky things on my hairy body so I can scream in pain when I have to rip them off. This was all in preparation for an angiogram so the heart boffin can see what is going on around my heart. Then a very large man shaved my arms because to get to my heart they go via the artery in my arm. I was happy. Then the big man said, "Groin," and he started to shave the top of my leg. That was okay. He then moved to my family jewels. This is when it became a bit tricky. Time to get serious. The tests I went for last week confirmed a diagnosis of severe aortic stenosis, which basically means the aortic valve in my heart is pretty shot, and it is as a result probably of me having rheumatic fever as a child, and it is a lot worse than they thought, and it is a life-threatening condition. Chances of me being around for much longer without any intervention are not that good. So for my 61st birthday, which is on the 1st of April, I will be in hospital, and I'm having surgery this time next week, which is the 29th of March. They will be opening my chest in the middle. They can't do any of this microscopic surgery. They will be going in, they will be removing the old damaged valve and replacing it with a bio tissue valve. I was given the option of a mechanical valve, which looks something like this, but this thing makes a noise, and while it would outlive me, I would also be on blood thinners for the rest of my life. So I've opted for the biological one, which has a lifespan of 15 to 15 years max. When that goes, then they can do microsurgery and sort it out. So I've just chosen that route. I'm a lot happier with it without being on the meds. So that's where we are. So we will be off air for quite a while. My hospital stay will be at least 5 days, and then it's about a 5-week recovery, but I'm pretty sure I can do it a bit quicker than that, hey? A little bit quicker than that. I think the main reason that I'm going for a biological valve is that if Markiplier Chris heard there was a mechanical part in my heart, he would want to weld something to it to make it look and work better than the original, so I will stick to the tissue valve. Okie dokie, moving right along. Let's look at the bumper we mentioned earlier. Outside, the rear bumper is a step closer to completion. Every little bump is being smoothed out. All of this, the bull bar, the rear bumper, is going to be a high gloss black finish. That's the look we're going for. More rain came down, so the bumper is moved into the paint shop where final touches are made. This is the kind of weather all the steel will be exposed to, so the prepping for painting must be perfect. I left East Coast Scratch and Dent for an hour or so, and when I returned, the bumper was all shiny and pretty. At the rear of the paint shop, there has been more action. Right, now the washing line behind me has got some other things hanging on it, and these are all the bits and pieces from the inside of the driver's cab. It's a center console, the bases for our seats. What else? Oh, there's all the little panels which close up between the driver's cab and the engine compartment. So all of this stuff is nearly ready to be installed. Inside the workshop, Chris has added to our girls' braces. he has added our next wing. Now you can get a good idea where this is going. Chris starts to make the last steel wing. Soon Meraai will be sporting the coolest braces in the class. And when I said soon, I meant soon. Our girl now has taxi nipping teeth. This bit of hardware will protect our engine compartment, winch and lights. Now Chris starts to position our spotlights and towing shackles. To do this, Meraai's train tracks are removed, and here they are in all their glory. Next, Chris starts to smooth out any imperfection. This is to prepare the hardcore dental wear for the paint shop. It is Friday afternoon. Cebu and Aubrey have met their deadline. Just arrived at Upholstery Classic, and what Cebu and Aubrey have done is fantastic. Really, the stitching, everything, I am very happy. These guys know what they're doing. So anybody on the lower south coast, if you want these guys to do work for you, you know how to get hold of them. You can contact me. I could not wait to show Bram and Chris.
This is awesome. Phillip, this looks very nice.
The guys at East Coast Scratch and Dent are blown away by Cebu and Aubrey's work. And Bram now just wants to see what this dash is going to look like inside Meraai. So they're going to just do a little quick rough fit and see what it looks like.
Phillip, come inside.
This dash has caused me quite a bit of brain damage over the months. Now all that was behind us.
Yo!
It's gonna look awesome. Sadly, I will have to wait a while to see the dash with all the plates, gauges and switches in place. But I am a very happy child. Bucketing down, still bucketing down. The rain does not want me to go, but we have come to the end of this episode, and I am going to be leaving you now for a few weeks. I'm not sure when we will be back on air. Everything will depend on my recovery period. I'm going to listen to my doctors and follow what they say to a T. I'm not worried about the surgery, and the attention I pay to the recovery to me is critical, and that is what I'm going to be focusing on. I would like to thank those of you who have contacted me personally for your messages, your love, your prayers, the support. It really means everything, and it is helping me a huge amount. I'm not going to be posting on YouTube. If people want to follow this surgery that I'm going through, please send me a Facebook request, Phillip Lennon, and I will only be using my personal Facebook page to convey information on how things go. I'll give a little summary when we're back on air. That will probably be in about a month's time, I would imagine, and in that month I think we're going to see a big change here, a huge change. Yeah, warrant, t-shirt's yours, but t-shirt's yours. My friends, thank you. Please keep safe and look after yourselves. Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You will find us under A Dream Called Meraai. Until next time, keep your dreams alive.